Welcome back to Bit by Bit Horsemanship. I've got Butty here. This is our third training session. We had a big storm last night, so it's been super muddy. And but we're going to go back to we're going to do some round penning. We are going to do some. He's pestering my cameraman right now, so I'm going to send him out of here. Come on. He's a real live baby, so he does real live baby things, don't you? So he's learning his respect. We're going to do some more desensitizing and some lunging, some yielding his hindquarters, his forequarters, and his back up. We're going to work on all of those things that we started. So all those were introductory, and we're going to take it slow for him since he's young and his attention span is very short. So we'll start out with some round penning, and I'm going to point and see there. His little head shake was a bit of a, I don't want to listen to you, but he did leave. But I just wanted him to know, hey, take me serious. So my first ask is a point, and then I'll cluck, and then I spank the ground. So point, and he's not listening. There he goes, and he goes into a lope. That's what I want. So I'm going to let him lope around just a little bit and start to change direction.
So you'll have to forgive my technical abilities because right here we lost my sound. So I'm going to voice over the rest of this video. So I'm sending him back the opposite direction to try to get him to change directions on the fence. Whenever I don't ask him, he looked in, and so whenever I pointed, he left again. And he still has quite a bit of spunk, and see there, jumping up and all that. So I'm just keeping his feet moving. And as soon as when I want to change direction, what I do is just step out in front of his eye and then start to back away. What that does is bring the draw towards me. And then whenever I point the opposite direction, I'm asking him go the opposite way. So here we go. I'm backing up. And it took him a minute, and then he left. A lot of times when they're looking out of the round pen, they're looking for, I want to run away. I want to get away from whatever this is that's making me move my feet. And they're not paying a lot of attention to you. So a lot of times I'll let them just keep running until they're starting to like, hey, I think I need to look in for a direction. So just then he turned around with his heels to me instead of his face. So I jumped into to get him turned back in that direction so we could try again. And so I stop here and let him kind of reward him and give him plenty of time to air up and face me, because I want him to know that that is the way you turn around. You do not turn your heels. I'm going to chase you faster. When you give me your face, I'm going to give you a rest. And things will get a lot easier. So he was looking for, hey, can I come in now? And as soon as I decide, I'll let him come in. Because now he's kind of getting the hang of, hey, I can come in if I face her. But now that he understands that that's the way that you get a rest, he's going to try more often. So what he needs to learn is that I determine when you come in, not you. And move right into some of the yielding hindquarters and forequarters and lunging. I'm going to halter him. The last time he got a little dramatic when I put the halter on, so we'll see how he does today. Whoops, I bumped him with the stick, and so he's going to overreact and run away from me. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw the stick down and try that again without that, as I have too many things in my hand, and try to just halter him with only the halter. And so now I've got to build his confidence back. I'm not going to touch you with the stick. And that's, as you can see, went much better. He's a sensitive little thing when he wants to be. So now I'm just going to desensitize to my new tools, which is the lead rope. I don't want him to get scared of it or drag it around on the ground and him look at it and it scare him, or touch him and scare him. So it doesn't take long because he's not too fearful of these tools. But it's always good habit to remind them that the tools are not there to hurt them. They're not there to make them, motivate them unless I ask them to do something. The tools are like an extension of a hand, so not to worry when they touch you or swing around or make noises. That just gets your colt nice and quiet. And he was putting his mouth on me, so whenever he's trying to put his mouth on me, I want to discourage that since it's already an issue, and just move his forequarters around and move him away from me. Move him away. Obviously, a biting is not acceptable, but even just putting his mouth on me, I'm not allowing at this stage because it turns so quickly into nipping, and I want to discourage that immediately. And so what I'm doing is just using like a pulsing pressure in the air. I'm not putting my hands necessarily on him. I just see that I'm pushing the air in front of his face because I want him to move away, and I just pet him to a stop. I don't have to put my hands on him, and I got to be careful. Don't get into a pushing match with a pushy horse because they can push harder than you. So I want my presence to be assertive, and if I put my hand on him, that means move. If I just even pulse the air, that means move. So with as minimal effort as possible, I want them to be able to move away from me when I ask. So I'm not going to push because the pushing match I'm going to lose. But my energy says move away. Just like a pushy horse, all they have to do is pin their ears at another horse and they will move out of the way. That's the same concept. We want them just to look at my body language and recognize what I'm asking. So now I'm going to ask him to lunge around. Well, he didn't remember what that meant, that halter pressure. So I'm just keeping some steady halter pressure and just asking with that halter pulling on him, and then using the stick and string as a motivator. Hey, to move away from that. That's not the direction I want you to go. I want you to go in the way that I'm pointing. So after this little reminder, he seems to starts to recall, like, oh yeah, I think I remember how this is supposed to go. So he's moving off of that. This exercise is really good to get them softer on halter pressure. And right then he came up into my circle, my bubble, a little too close. So I backed him up, and he's doing really a lot better from the last time, even backing off, just wiggling that string. And so again, he got up a little too close. So I'm going to back him up, get him out of my bubble, and just keep asking this or repeating this exercise with and there he tried to charge on top of me. So of course I had the stick to block him from coming over me, and then I just go right back into what I'm asking him to do. And this time I'm going to ask him to make make a little bit more turns, more of a turn, and keep his feet moving just a little bit longer. And then when he does the right thing, we just go right back to 2 eyes, pet him with the stick, keep him out of my circle. And that way he doesn't get into thinking that he can come up to me before I ask. So that looked better, but you see he came in with his shoulder closer to me. So I'm going to go into circle driving, which basically I use the stick as a distance. It helps you keep your distance. Like, don't come in closer than this stick. And so then I'm going to move him around, and we're going to go back and forth in both directions, but he's not allowed to come in closer than the stick. And then as I really emphasize, like, looking at his hindquarters to get him to yield. And like this right here, I want him to yield and move that hindquarter away, keep giving me 2 eyes. And I just over exaggerate it in the beginning for sure. I'm just picking up my string and keeping it together. So I asked him to go to the left, and he got confused, went to the right. So I had to kind of block him with the stick and let him run into it and turn the opposite way. So he's getting it, but he has not done a whole lot of this, and he's never done the combination where you leave to one direction and then you turn the opposite. He's just done the one direction, stop and yield and face me with 2 eyes. So now this is his first time kind of doing a switch direction in his lunging. So they're bound to get a little confused from time to time. But there we go. He's got it. He's got quick feet. It's not going to take this little colt long to get things figured out. May take him longer to figure out. Keep his mouth off of me, though. I'm going to pull him to a stop and then just give him a bit of air. He did a pretty good yield. So now he's a little more winded than he's been during this entire session. So let him air up a little bit while he's giving me 2 eyes. Do a little desensitizing to his face. I like to do plenty of that because he's sometimes can be overreactive to my hand in his face. The only area that he can be a little overly dramatic about is around his eyes and his face. So now I'm going to ask him to move off of that tapping on the shoulder, and this is the circle driving. So he's going to stay at that length away, and I'm going to just ask him to trot. He doesn't have to lope. Just trot around, and then we're going to kind of put it all together and yield his hindquarters, turn, and go another direction. We're going to get it put all together. I like to circle drive horses all the way across an arena. Really, it makes their feet move a lot more than yours. You can literally walk straight down an arena, have a horse just loping or trotting around you. As you're walking straight, they're making half circles in front of you, back and forth. So it can really get some wind out of them before you do the other exercises. So this is his first time to figure what I'm asking. See, there we go. And we get a little bit of a circle, switch direction and turn. And again, I'm not allowing him to come into my bubble. He's got to stay about the stick length away. And they will also get confused. So he's just learning to come off of that halter pressure and change directions and not fight it. But as you can see, I reward him when they're slack in that rope. It's a reward. You're doing the right thing. Right there's slack, and I'm asking him to go forward, come off of it, and then pull the opposite direction. Whoop, run into the stick, and then he goes in the opposite direction. Eventually, he's going to keep slacking that rope all the time and just be very, very light on the halter pressure. When your horse is light on halter pressure, when you're doing all of these things, they don't set back, they don't pull. As soon as they feel that slight pressure, they yield to it. So it makes them just a very all-around, easy to handle horse. So lots of practice of this. He'll get so much better. And the more you make them move their feet, and the less you have to move your feet, that's where the respect starts coming in, because you're making them move their feet without much effort. And the more you do that, the more they will take you serious. And that's why the biting just kind of goes away, the mouthing, all the little disrespectful moments, they just kind of resolve themselves usually, because you're gaining their respect. So that's why I try not to make it too big of a deal, unless he puts his teeth on me. Then it's a big deal. But I just, now, like, he's done a little bit of leg work, so now I'm just going to kind of, I'm going to work on the lateral flex. So I'm just putting light, very, very light pressure, just enough to pull the rope towards me. And basically I'm just going to hold that pressure there until he turns his face and just gives me any kind of slack in the rope without moving his feet. So until he he's still, but he hasn't given his face. So I'm going to hold that pressure. I'm not bending his face around, because anybody can make him turn his head, but I'm just putting just enough finger pressure on that rope as an ask and waiting for him to stop moving his feet and then just give to that pressure. So sometimes it takes a long time. Sometimes they pick it up pretty quick, but as soon as he gives me just that slight pressure, that yield off of that rope and without moving his feet, I immediately drop it. And so right then I dropped it. It looked like he was still moving, but he was actually still for a second, and he gave me that little bit of release. So I had to reward it. So right here, we're wait. He's almost there, but he's not giving me his face. He's being still though. There, immediately drop it. And that was perfect. So the second I drop it, he's just going to get better and better. The quicker you can reward that effort, the quicker they learn. That's what you want right there. So if he's not moving his feet and he's giving me just any release of that rope, I'm going to release it to him. And then we just build on that. You got a starting point of just a half a second, and then you just build on that and keep building on it. So I've also figured out that with a young one, we can do this. I can't ask for perfection. I have to really lower the bar a lot, like training wheels, and just get a few good successful accomplishments, and then move on to something else. And then when I come back, it's like night and day improvement. When I ask him again, he's like, oh yeah, that's what you want. And so I can move faster by not beating a dead horse, if you will. And I'm staying right up at his shoulders. And if you notice, that rope can just dangle. As long as my feet aren't getting tangled, his legs aren't getting tangled. I just let it kind of stay out of the way. As long as it's hanging there right at the withers and just hanging down, it really doesn't bother anybody. And I position my right arm, my opposite arm, on the withers. That way I stay in the same place on him the entire time, and I can just keep my pressure very light with my opposite arm. That helps a lot. And now I'm going to move on. He gave me a couple of good, nice, successful flexes, so I'm going to move on to the opposite side. and he picks it up a lot faster on this side. So that's literally all I do. Just 2 fingers, pull with just the slightest bit of effort where he feels it, and just wait for him to give, just like that. And I'm not going to pull. I'm just going to just pull just slight pressure where he feels it, and wait for him. Wait for him to do the rest. There we go. Now on this side, I think he's a little bolder. This is his bolder side. So what I mean by that is he's a lot more pushier and bold. So what I found him doing is he's like, yeah, sure, I'll come around and let me put my mouth on you. So it was starting to become an invitation almost to, here, get your mouth on me. So I only did a few on this side because he picked it up really quickly, and as soon as I realized like he's turned this into kind of a game, I just moved on to something else. But it's a really good, he's going to learn excellent lateral flexing. We're going to do vertical flexing later. We did a little during his backup, but so because he put his mouth on me and he kind of opened his mouth, now I'm going to make him move away. So again, I got to drive him away like that's not what I asked. Now you've got to move out of my space. So you just kind of have to roll with the punches, and sometimes they'll determine what you're going to do next. Every time he tries to put his mouth on me, I'm just going to, in any type of way, whether it's yield his forequarters or back him up or whatever the case may be, depending on my position, I'm going to make him move away from me and change his mind and just get his mind on moving away from me to redirect that energy. And by the way, if any of you have any tips for what works for you, I would love to hear them, because this is my first baby. So this is just the way I'm rolling with it. And I love to learn more and hear from other people that know what they're doing. And my helpers have something that they want to finish with. So go ahead.
If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications.
And thank you for watching Bit by Bit Horsemanship. Yeehaw!
Have a great day.